Century 21.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a clue.
All I know is Joe Coker called me, I want to say on Monday, and said, hey, can we do last week? Yeah, maybe last week. And I called him on Monday and said, hey, can we get a call today call?
Yeah, that's
We
it.
got a call, maybe call back. That one gets called.
Excuse me.
She's saying that no one's returning her call over ESD. Like, okay, we just call her.
Perfectly.
And Ken was like, it's probably because of regional council staff, and like, do they apply? Do they have to have money in it? I don't know.
Probably they applied.
Yeah.
And people, so, they didn't get it.
Right. So I don't know, Kenneth asked him just to call when he what's going on. I'm not sure if that's what he asked him, so I'm going to put words in his mouth.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
He's out all day today, so he won't,
Oh,
he's
okay.
not. I mean, you could email
that happen with Adam Spence yesterday?
You might as well
Just a call, I'll tell you about
see
it.
what's going on. So I understand the reach out to Kenneth, once you can say he's legitimately out of taking care of stuff, and so.
Hello.
But I wanted to get back to her quickly, and find out what the story is. This
So-
email Kenneth and me.
Okay, so should I, I'll speak to Sarah.
Yeah.
To make sure that, it's closed. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have Betty's number? Oh, okay.
No, she hasn't called me.
See, and that's good, when you email back to Kenneth, she never reached out to our office, your office. So.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think she thinks that she did.
That's what I think Coco alluded to.
You don't talk to the press, but you're gonna get a
Yeah,
lot
no, they,
because of a breach of contract.
Half the time it's not true. Like, who are you talking about? I have no record.
I mean, they're consulting. I think that was it. Maybe he's reached out like this summer, but we told him.
Yeah, he should be, if they're trying to, they should be covering our,
Okay.
they should be
Sounds
covering
good.
our good grace.
Thank you.
How you doing? Good. Ready for the holidays? Ready for the holidays? Well, I mean, yeah, this, yeah. I know you're ready for it.
At that. He's out today. Take care of
Yeah. And if he makes it worse for us,
the worst of the back.
Oh, yeah, totally.
we have her. So did you see the list of the casino warrants?
I did, yeah.
What do you think about it?
I don't know. I gotta look into it a little bit more, but I mean, like, I've already seen the reaction, I guess.
Yeah.
The people are saying that I like the Catskills choice. It's good that it's a Catskills choice, not a closer in choice. That town is certainly using it, so that's good. I was looking for the Southern Tier one. I thought there was going to be one, or maybe this Finger Lakes one counts for that.
Oh, do you know who was involved? How are you, Mona?
I don't. I just remember there was talk about doing 4.
Right.
I think the western one, which is
The
Finger
west-
Lakes one, I thought would have been more Southern Tier oriented
right.
than Finger Lakes oriented.
Oh, the one that I looked at for entertainment purposes alone, I think I liked the Stirring Forest one, but that one had the most environmental dispute. So they did not like that one.
Yeah, right.
There was a lot of lawsuit potential possibility for it, like because of the forest.
Yeah.
But that one had a lot of components to it, and strangely enough, I thought it was a good enough mixture of entertainment for attraction.
Right.
But I guess because of the complexity, they
Exactly.
dropped it.
I think today we'll see more, the governor's going to each of the sites. They'll drop a press release after every visit.
So it's
Oh, yeah, it's already out there. Just a question of, they're going to probably put more of their public justification for why they
for
pick
that,
those
yeah.
sites in that press release, I'm sure. So we'll see kind of what their,
No problem.
at least what the administration thinking was. So which should be good.
Very good. It was very interesting to just take the entertainment look at things.
Exactly.
Which is kind of fun.
Right, fun, right?
Yeah.
Very fun.
Which is too many though. It was like 16 applications. How many people went out though? Casino. It's running a little long.
Very good. Okay. Great.
Hello. Back and
Hello, sir.
That's very cool. That's amazing, actually.
yeah, it's fun.
Because I think it's one of those great things. That was one of I'm very lucky to have that experience. Because you would never, the thing we got to see, like they take us all the facilities and show us
Yeah.
all the different aspects of the
Well,
system.
EPA, I learned the first corporate administration because one of the guys I worked with were the political guy was in the area. And they had a whole discussion with EPA because they want to filter the system. So, right? So, it's a really creative way.
I'm here.
Hey there.
Doing
Morning.
Right.
How about a pen?
really fascinating story.
Yeah. So I mean, it's incredible. And when you think about it, that was 100 years ago, 150 years ago, probably. That they started designing it all.
Yeah.
And so
Everybody here ready to roll?
Still have, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I actually have a conflict with Willis.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we put that one where I am, and then I can just leave it.
Totally. I think our consultants are here for that one, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You ready to go?
We are indeed. We have.
Sorry, I got
Do not have anyone on
jammed up.
here today. Oh, okay.
Morning, everybody.
We want to make him.
Gonna get started. Before I call the meeting to order, I'd like to note in the record I will serve as the acting chairman for this meeting. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the New York State Urban Development Corporation, doing business as Empire State Development for Thursday, December 18th, 2014. Directors received the written materials in advance of this meeting. They are free to ask questions at any time. As noted on the agenda, oh, not close enough? All right. As noted on the agenda posted on the internet, we welcome public comment on the items following agenda. To ensure maximum opportunity for participation, speakers representing themselves may speak for up to 2 minutes each, and those representing groups may speak for up to 4 minutes each, one speaker per group. Speakers' comments may address only items considered at today's meeting. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on the agenda. If so, I would like you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you recuse yourselves from any discussion or vote with regard to any such item or items. Does anyone have a conflict? Well, I do. And the conflict is the Willis item. So at the end of that, we'll put that at the end of the agenda. And then I will recuse myself and take my leave. Okay, so that's my conflict. Thank you. I now ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the November 20th, 2014 Directors Meeting.
So moved.
Any questions or comments, deletions, suggestions? Nope. We have a motion? We have a second? I second. Okay. Thanks, Anthony. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The motion carries. Next, we'll go to Edwin Lee. I'll ask Edwin to present a brief summary of the project items on today's agenda. After Edwin provides his summary, I will call on the individual regional directors or their representatives to present the project items from their regions. Edwin.
Thank you. Good morning. Today, the directors will be requested to consider funding for 14 discretionary projects. These projects include one SUNY sub-allocation grant for $2 million, one minority and women-owned business development and lending program grant for $125,000, 8 regional council capital fund grants totaling $3,775,000, and 2 Connect New York grants for $7,042,177. There will also be a $3 million request for the Open for Business Craft Beverage Grant Program and a $5 million to 3 investment managers for the New York State Innovation Venture Capital Fund. These projects will take place across all 10 New York State regions and will leverage over $35 million of additional investment, retain 714 jobs, and create 62 jobs. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Edwin. Michael Ball, representing ESD Western New York office, will now present the Rich Products Capital Grant item for the director's consideration. Michael, whenever you're ready.
Great, thank you. Good morning from Western New York. The directors are requested to approve a capital grant of up to $2 million from the SUNY Sub-Allocation Fund to Rich Products Corporation. It's a privately held global company headquartered here in Buffalo, New York. The project will result in an expansion to the company's research and development operations and create a new customer care innovation center. The company produces and distributes a wide range of frozen foods, including pizza, barbecue entrees, seafood entrees, bread, desserts. Rich Products was founded in Buffalo in 1945 as the world's first non-dairy whipped topping manufacturer. With constant innovations, it now has over 2,000 products being sold in 112 countries. The company shifted manufacturing out of New York State over the years, but does maintain its global headquarters in Buffalo. The company has over 9,000 employees in over 50 facilities in more than 100 countries on 6 continents. There are 725 employees in Buffalo, 918 statewide. Some of their major customers include companies like Sam's Club, Walmart, Dunkin' Brands, and Cisco. So the $24.9 million project involved interior building renovations to an existing 165,000 square foot building to feature a fully renovated lab, customer solution studio, a learning lab, an innovation kitchen, and the acquisition and installation of new furniture, fixtures, and equipment. The project was completed in June of 2014, and the company was going to retain 651 jobs and create 17. We're happy to report that the company has exceeded that goal and already created 74 new jobs. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Nice report. Thank you. Any questions, comments from the directors?
Only question I have is, what was the world's first non-dairy whipped topping? Do you have any idea? Anyone know?
You got me. All right, we'll get to that next month. All right, somebody has some research to do. Any comments from the public with regard to this item? No? Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the motion carries. Next, we're going to go to Wei Min Chang, ESD Senior Director of Business and Economic Development. Now present an item relating to ESD's Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprise Contractor Bonding Preparedness Training and Technical Assistance Program. How'd I do? Did I get it?
Yes, you got it
Okay.
right. Good morning, everyone. The directors are requested to approve a total of $125,000 technical assistance and training grant to be awarded to the New York State Small Business Development Center Network on behalf of 10 small business development centers statewide. It plans to assist 200 New York State certified minority and women-owned business enterprises or to be certified MWEs to secure bonding for public contracts through a 35-hour classroom training and one-on-one technical assistance. The New York State Business Development Center Network was founded in 1984 as an administered unit of the State University of New York. The SBDC has advised over 500,000 small and medium enterprises, approximately 35 of which are MWBEs. In partnership with the Governor's Office, ESD, and the Surety Fidelity Association of America, the SBDC developed the Bond Preparedness Program curriculum that currently includes classroom training and one-on-one direct prescriptive plan for individual businesses. The Small Business Development Center Network has been working with the New York State Bonding Assistance Program run by ESD since it launched in late 2012. The New York State BAP is a $10 million bonding guarantee program announced by the governor that has since facilitated over $17.5 million in bonding capacity to qualify bond-ready contractors by providing credit enhancement through an up to 30% guarantee to sureties. The Contractor Bonding Preparedness Training Program would also provide for a pipeline of ready contractors for the ESD surety bond guarantees. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks very much. Questions or comments from the directors? No? Any comments from the public? Is there a public here today? No questions, no comments from the public? In that case, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second? Anybody second?
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carries. I will now ask Sam Filler, ESD's Director of Industrial Development, to present an item related to ESD's Craft Beverage Grant Program. Sam?
The directors are requested to approve the following for the $3 million craft beverage grant program. 1, authorization to adopt guidelines. 2, authorization to make grants. 3, delegation of authority. And 4, authorization to take related actions. Just to provide a little background as to what this program is all about, craft beverage industry is, more than doubled in the past 2 years. A lot has to do with Governor Cuomo's support of the industry. He's now hosted 2 summits, the last one being in April of 2014, and at that summit, at these summits, he announces a series of deliverables, one of these deliverables being a $3 million commitment to tourism and marketing promotion, and he announced these as they would be grant programs. The source of the funding for this program comes from NYPA Open for Business. This is an annual transfer that ESD receives for its economic development marketing purposes. And so this program is going to be divided into 2 sub-grant programs. One, a $2 million craft beverage marketing and promotion grant program. The minimum grant award will be $5,000, and the maximum grant award will be up to $500,000 per year per applicant. The second program is a $1 million craft beverage industry tourism promotion grant that has a maximum grant award of $25,000 and a minimum grant award of $25,000, a maximum grant award of $250,000. What we're requesting the directors to do today is to adopt the program guidelines. And the second, which is very similar to the New Farmers Program, is a delegation of authority. So the number of eligible entities statewide is anticipated to be 20 to 30, which is inclusive of trade associations, beverage trails, chambers of commerce, economic development organizations, and tourism promotion agencies. Many of these eligible organizations have limited financial capacity, and their typical grant request will likely be less than $50,000. In the interest of implementing this gubernatorial initiative as swiftly and effectively as possible, for grants less than $50,000, the directors are being asked to delegate to the President and Chief Executive Officer of the corporation or his designee the authority to 1, accept applications for grants, 2, make grants, and 3, make any necessary findings or take any necessary action that the corporation may be required under the Urban Development Corporation Act. And 4, approve the related project plans, and 5, hold any public hearings necessary. And then a caveat to this is any grant request that's over $50,000 or more will not be included as part of this delegation of authority and will require separate approval by the directors.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah. Any questions or comments from the board?
Look forward to seeing the ads. Yeah. And trying the product.
Any comments from the public? So I think this will have no trouble getting approved. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Motion carries. Next, we have Steve Cohen and Brian Keel, who are up next, and they will, or is it Kyle? I'm sorry.
It's Keel.
Keel, very good. And they will present an item relating to the New York State Innovation Venture Capital Fund's Technology Commercialization and Pre-Seed Company Investment Program. we need to have a course of acronyms here. Steve.
Good morning. This item relates to the state's new $50 million Innovation Venture Capital Fund. This is to be distinguished from Innovate New York, which is the state's seed stage equity fund of funds program that the board has seen a few items on in the past. That program, we've made 60 plus investments and $130 million in total investment with private and our investment through that program. This program, launched by the governor, is a $50 million new venture capital fund that will mostly take a co-investment direct funding approach. That fund has two major sections. The first section is a co-investment fund where we will make direct investments in companies at the seed stage of up to $750,000, and we will also consider business attraction earlier venture stage investments of up to $5 million for businesses coming to the state for significant job creation and those sorts of things. The other segment of the fund relates to very small pre-seed investments of up to $100,000. This first item on this fund, the board I'm sure will see many more items on this fund as individual investments are to be made through the co-investment fund. But this first item relates to the selection of our fund investment fund partners for this earliest stage pre-seed technology commercialization component of the new fund. And so I just wanted to provide a brief outline of that and also introduce to the board ESD's new managing director for the venture capital fund, Brian Keel. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Brian, who will go through the tech commercialization item.
So Brian, you just started here?
About 2.5 months ago, yes.
So, well,
thank you. Good morning. As Steve mentioned, we're pursuing the authorization from the directors to enter into agreements for program funding and disperse funds and take any other related actions related to the technology commercialization portion of the new fund. Specifically, we have 3 firms that we are looking to allocate $5 million in funding towards to cover the upstate regions of New York State. They were selected by a competitive RFP process that was kicked off in July. Originally, we'd hoped to find firms that would cover the entire state out of that single RFP. We found the best candidates in this particular case. We're covering the upstate region. We are issuing a second RFP to cover the downstate region. But we did feel that the $5 million was the right amount to be allocating to these firms, and that we would be able to cover all of the regions and achieve the goals here, which is to bring technologies out of research labs, universities, to really jumpstart innovation across the state. The specific firms that we are looking to allocate the capital to are the following: Excel Partners, SCP Buffalo Incubator, which goes by Z80 Labs, and Grants for Growth. Excel is an affiliate of a not-for-profit affiliate of the University of Rochester. We are looking to allocate them $2 million. They are one of the Innovate New York funds as well. They were allocated $5 million in funding in the Innovate New York program, which they have put to work very successfully. And so this is a second allocation out of a different program for even earlier stage investments. And they'll be covering the southern tier, western New York, Finger Lakes, Capital, and central New York regions as part of their charter. SCP will be covering western New York. We're proposing to allocate them $1.5 million. They are also one of the Innovate New York funds and have also made over 10 investments out of that program, and they've been a good partner there. And then finally, Grants for Growth. We're proposing to allocate them $1.5 million. They are covering central New York, Mohawk Valley, North Country, and southern tier regions. And this is an innovative collaboration between 3 of the NISTAR hotspots to find innovative companies within their regions. They've been making grants and over the years, and they've moved to an equity investment program, and this would be additional funds to help them further their work. Any questions?
Good luck with it. Any questions or comments from the directors?
No, sounds great.
Comments from the public? Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Assume that's an approval. Motion carries. Thanks very much. The next item on the agenda is a broadband program item. Because of scheduling, Dave Soloway has asked that we move his presentation near the meeting as possible, and we'll hold off on the presentation until then. I will now ask John Vanderloo to present item 3B, which relates to the Lions Falls Lewis County Development Corporation Regional Council Award Project. John.
Good morning, Mahul. Can you hear me okay? Bill?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. The directors are asked to approve a grant of up to $1 million to the Lewis County Development Corporation to be used for a portion of the cost of demolition. This is for demolition of buildings at the 9.4-acre brownfield site in Lions Falls, the site of a former paper mill. The project is consistent with the North Country Regional Economic Development Council strategy to attract additional private investment, create jobs, and expand economic development opportunities in North Country communities. The $1 million ESD grant goes towards a $2.5 million total project cost. The Lewis County Development sought assistance for its to help finance its Lions Falls brownfield redevelopment project in order to create a shovel-ready site for economic development. The LDC applied for funding in round 2 of the Regional Council and was awarded $1 million. Without ESD funding assistance, the project would not have moved forward. In addition, ESD Design and Construction has oversight over the project disbursements. The Lewis County Development Corporation has developed plans, obtained permits, removed hazardous materials, and completed demolition of derelict industrial mill buildings in order to prepare a 9.4 industrial brownfield site for future development as a modern commercial industrial park. The project will result in a shovel-ready greenfield site available for business expansion in Lewis County. That is all I have on that, Mihul. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there questions or comments from the board? Comments from the public? Then I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes carry. The motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mihul, and board directors.
Thank you. Michael Ball is up again. This time he will present the Center for Computational Research Regional Council Awards item for the director's consideration.
Good morning again. The directors are requested to approve a $1 million grant from the Regional Council Capital Fund to the Research Foundation for the State University of New York on behalf of the University at Buffalo. This is a CFA Regional Council project from the last round, 2013. The $1.2 million project involved expansion of UB's Center for Computational Research's high-performance computing and data analytics structure, known as the HPC, located within Buffalo's Center for Excellence in Bioinformatics at Life Sciences. The HPC is UB's supercomputer, essentially, which is utilized primarily by UB's faculty and student base, but also on a limited basis by the public and the private sector, most importantly. Project expenditures include 216 high-end servers and a high-end InfiniBand network with related software. The project was completed in October and expanded the center's ability to provide private companies with on-demand, immediate access to advanced computing and storage infrastructure and consulting services, allowing for improved productivity in the implementation of innovative proprietary product and process development. CCR is currently providing services to 9 private companies, 2 of which were previously ESD funded, including Empire Visual Effects and Sentient, that require supercomputing abilities to achieve their employment goals. The expanded center has the capacity to accommodate services for up to 30 or 40 additional companies, and will additionally support activities of the New York State Center of Excellence in Material Informatics, the New York State Genome Medicine and Big Data Center, the Institute of Healthcare Informatics, and the newly established Buffalo Niagara Advanced Manufacturing Institute. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions at the board level?
Yeah.
Comments from the public? You have a question?
No.
Okay, yeah. Comments from the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved.
Second. Thanks very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. No one opposed. The motion carries. Thanks very much. Now, James Fail, the Director of ESD Central New York Regional Office, will present the next 2 items. Please vote after each item is presented. Jim will begin with WST 33, Plaza of the Arts item. Jim?
Good morning. The directors are being asked to approve a $700,000 grant for this project to help cover a portion of the construction and renovation cost involving the demolition of an existing condemned building in downtown Auburn, New York, and construct a new corporate headquarters facility to promote a business expansion. This is a total of a $3.8 million project, so our portion represents 20% of the project. This was to retain 16 jobs and create an additional 7, and in fact, as of 8. So they've met their job numbers. This corporate headquarters was to house a company that has substantial franchises along the East Coast. So they have locations throughout New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. So they had other locations that they could have gone to do their corporate headquarters, which basically runs all their back office operations for these franchises, as well as a training facility. So I'll entertain any questions.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Comments from the public? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much. The motion carries. Jim, will you move on now to your next item?
Yes, the next grant that the directors will be asked to approve is for Ephesus Technologies, and it's a $150,000 grant to be used to purchase machinery and equipment for this company for a total project cost of $585,000. This is a company that is our incubator center in Syracuse, New York, and into a building in downtown Syracuse. It's a woman-owned business that is an LED lighting innovation company that designs, engineers, and manufactures LED lighting products. These lights are used in warehouses, manufacturing facilities, parking lots, garages, and most recently in stadiums. In fact, they've installed all of the lights in where the Arizona Cardinals plays, which will be the site of the 2015 Super Bowl this year. So the lights will be made here in Syracuse, New York, that's lighting that facility. So
Very good.
I think because of these LED lightings, we're not going to have to worry about what happened last Super Bowl with the power going out and taking 20 minutes for the lights to ramp back up. This is going to create an additional 24 jobs when the project is done, and I'll be glad to entertain any questions.
The board, any questions or comments? Any comments from the public? Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks very much. Motion carries. Next, we have Mr. Tazwell, the Director of ESD's New York City Regional Office, to present the Pratt Institute Regional Council Award item. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The directors are requested to approve a $500,000 grant for Pratt Institute, which will be used in connection with the expansion and relocation of the Pratt Design Incubator for Sustainable Innovation and the Brooklyn Fashion and Design Accelerator. Pratt Institute, which is based in Brooklyn and which has a satellite campus in Manhattan, the global leader in higher education dedicated to preparing its nearly 5,000 undergrad and graduate students for successful careers in art, design, architecture, and other liberal arts and sciences. Established in 2002, the Pratt Design Incubator provides space and ongoing strategic mentorship that has resulted in a thriving community of startup businesses, many of which have been founded by Pratt alumni. To date, the incubator has helped support the launch of over 30 new companies and created over 50 jobs in sectors such as clean energy, fashion design, product design, social entrepreneurship, and green consulting services. The incubator started the Brooklyn Fashion and Design Accelerator in 2013, and this has become a hub for ethical fashion and design, offering 21st century production such as laser cutters, 3D printers, sub-die printers, and workspaces where design businesses will be mentored and will be able to grow their startups into viable businesses. The accelerator also houses a micro production center where designers can have up to 100 units produced, a middle ground between shoestring operations with just a handful of orders and more established businesses that can place orders of 500 units with mainstream manufacturers. Pratt submitted a round 2 CFA for ESD assistance in connection with renovating an existing facility, Pratt's engineering building at 200 Willoughby Avenue, to accommodate the move of the incubator from the Brooklyn Navy Yard, as well as renovating 21,000 square feet of space at 630 Flushing Avenue, the former Pfizer factory building in Williamsburg, to house the accelerator and this micro-run production facility. The $2.45 million project is expected to provide space and resources for up to 28 startups. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Questions or comments from the directors? Any comments from the public? All right, take a motion to approve.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. The motion carries. Next, we'll hear from Bonnie Palmer. The Director of ESD's Southern Tier Regional Office will now present the Shenango Place Regional Council Awards item for your consideration. Bonnie?
Good morning and greetings from the beautiful Southern Tier. The directors are requested to approve a grant of $250,000 to Shenango Place LLC for a portion of the cost of construction and renovation of 6,000 square feet of commercial retail space within a 135,000 square foot mixed-use historic building. This property is located in a highly visible commercial corridor targeted for revitalization in downtown Binghamton. Project is complete. A total of 48 market rate residential units have been created and are currently at a 100% occupancy. ESD funds will assist with the commercial interior renovations, facade and roof repair, as well as new building infrastructure. As an opportunity agenda targeted area, historic mixed-use restoration projects are critical to the revitalization of the city's urban core. This Round 3 priority project is consistent with the Southern Tier Regional Economic Development Council's strategic plan to revitalize the region's downtowns, main streets, and neighborhoods through smart and sustainable practices for community development. This $8.8 million transformative project will help to restore an historic waterfront building in downtown Binghamton and will attract 3 new retail businesses to the area. In fact, the grantee has executed a lease with a commercial tenant that is scheduled to open a new restaurant in the fall of 2015. Shenango Place LLC recently hired 5 employees, and it will create an additional 15 new full-time jobs. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board?
Great project.
Any comments from the public? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. And now we'll
Thank
go
you.
back to Edwin Lee.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much. We go back to Edwin Lee, who will present the December Regional Council Board's project consent calendar. Edwin?
Thank you. The directors are requested to approve a $100,000 grant to Calspan Corporation. For more than 70 years, Calspan has been providing research and testing services in the transportation and aerospace industries. The company is also the fixed-based operator at the Niagara Falls International Airport, providing services including aircraft refueling, de-icing, and cleaning. In an effort to improve performance of its tire testing systems, the company needed to upgrade its machinery and equipment from a hydraulic system to an electrically driven system. The project will be completed this month, and total project costs are $2.2 million. The project will retain 28 jobs and create 10 jobs by 2016. And for the second project, the directors are requested to approve a $75,000 grant to GF Labels Development LLC. The company is located in Washington County and has been producing data processing labels and printed materials since 1985. The company has been operating out of a 12,000 square foot facility, and it needed to expand to accommodate growth in its production and operations. This past September, the company completed the construction of a 6,000 square foot addition and also purchased additional machinery and equipment. Total project costs were approximately $608,000. The company has retained 9 jobs and has already created 3 of the 4 jobs to which it has committed. Thank you.
Very good. So we take these both at once. Questions or comments from the board? Comments from the public? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. So next we'll hear from Glenn McCleary, who will present this month's non-discretionary consent calendar for the directors. Glenn?
Thank you and good morning. We have 2 projects this month. The first project is a modification to a $600,000 grant to Senate State Corporation for Economic Opportunity, originally approved by the board in March of 2010 for projects and programs that promote economic development in central New York. Senate State is seeking to reallocate a portion of the grant to purchase and install security cameras in downtown Syracuse. The security cameras are expected to promote safety and attract new businesses. This action does not involve the authorization of new funding. The second project is a $6.2 million grant to Trudeau Institute for ongoing operations for the Bio Initiative to advance biotechnical as well as biomedical research in partnership with Clark's University. The funding will also enable Trudeau to continue a multi-year plan to develop the rapidly emerging field of immunoengineering as well as strengthen the partnership with Clark's University. The total project cost is $6.2 million, and this phase of the project is expected to be completed by December of 2015. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Questions or comments from the board? Is there any comments from the public? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks very much. The motion carries. Well, why don't we, do you want to do the Willis thing now, and then I'll just...
Sure, we
Yeah.
can do that. Not a problem.
Be back in a minute?
Ingrid here? Yeah. Great, all right. So next we'll ask Ingrid Barbosa Santiago to present an item relating to ESD's insurance brokerage services. Ingrid? Good morning.
Good morning. The directors are being asked this morning to authorize a 3-year contract with 2 one-year extension options for brokerage services with Willis of New York, Inc., as our current contract with Pool Insuring expires this coming February. Services will include marketing, placing ESD's insurance policies, and providing insurance risk management support and advisory services for ESD's insurance portfolio. The annual fee is $125,000 for a contract total of $375,000. ESD issued an RFP on September 30th, 2014. 11 responses were received and 6 brokers were interviewed. Willis of New York, Inc.'s response and experience exceeded all the requirements, offered the best value, and was best suited to address the needs of ESD. The risk management program included a strong service team, a written transition plan, direct access to international markets for pricing and policy placement, post-binding client services, aggressive claim services, and a personalized client portal. The selection committee comprised the finance staff, legal staff, and Rose Kevel of the Kevel Agency hereby recommends and requests that the board authorize the approval of this 3-year contract with 2 one-year extensions for broker services at a cost of $125,000 annually. Thank you.
Thanks, Ingrid. Any questions or comments, Anthony?
Nope.
I only have one. I just want to clarify, I guess, in terms of compensation for Willis over the term, as we place insurance policies and so forth, do they get any additional compensation, or is it just the fixed $125,000 a year?
It is fixed net of commissions.
Okay.
Unless we add a major project,
right,
then that's not within the scope of this work. It's ESD as it exists today.
Got it.
Okay.
And does this also cover just the corporation or also our subsidiaries?
Subsidiaries.
Subsidiaries also included. Okay.
Great. And we will be back in February for pricing the policies. That's separate.
Got it. Okay, wonderful. Are there any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none. Take a motion to approve the item.
Moved.
And I'll second that. I think that's all we need. So thank you very much. Thanks, Ingrid.
Thank you.
I promise I didn't listen to anything. I have no idea.
Excellent time. Excellent.
All right.
With the glasses.
That's right. All right, so we're now at, we did Wills, okay. Now we'll have the Arthur Kill Correctional Facility Administrative Action, Rachel Schatz.
Good morning. The directors are being requested to authorize the corporation to enter into a contract for consultant services in preparing an environmental assessment for redeveloping the Arthur Kill Correctional Facility site. The site is owned by the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, or DOCS, and ESD will be acting on behalf of DOCS and the state for the disposition of the site. On February 20th of this year, the directors conditionally designated Broadway Stages as developer of a proposed film production studio and backlot on the 69-acre waterfront site located on the North Shore of Staten Island. A request for proposals was issued on October 7th to 3 of the environmental consulting firms on ESD's pre-qualified list of consultants for on-call services. The RFP was for the preparation of a full environmental assessment form with a contingency scope and budget for a targeted environmental impact statement. All 3 of the firms responded with a proposal by the submission deadline date of October 29th. While all 3 proposals were responsive to the RFP and demonstrated an understanding of the scope of services requested, the VHB proposal was determined to be the most thorough proposal, included the most meaningful MWBE participation, and proposed the most reasonable bid price for the requested services and deliverables. The contract term will be for the duration of 1 year, with an ESD option to extend for another 6 months. Payments for this effort will not exceed $255,200, inclusive of reimbursables and contingency tasks. The cost of this contract will be reimbursed by Broadway Stages. There is an overall MWBE participation goal of 23% for this contract. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Questions, comments from the board? There are comments from the public? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Lauren Axelrod will now present an administrative action item on today's agenda, which involves the procurement of legal services for Brooklyn Development Center. Lauren?
Good morning. The board is being asked to authorize an amendment to a contract with law firm of Gonzalez, Saggio, and Harlan in an amount not to exceed $300,000 in order to continue providing legal services in connection with the disposition of 2 parcels of land within the Brooklyn Development Center located on Fountain Avenue in Brooklyn. The corporation retained Gonzalez Saggio, a state-certified minority business enterprise, on September 1st, 2013, to provide advice on real estate, environmental, and other related legal matters in connection with ESD's participation in the sale of the property. This work includes drafting, negotiating, and finalizing documents, assisting ESD in complying with environmental regulations, and coordinating documentation with other involved agencies. The initial contract was for $49,999. The Fountain property work and the estimated legal costs were originally based on the project developer's plan to construct approximately 46 residential units consistent with existing zoning. Subsequent to the corporation and the project developer entering into a cost agreement and an MOU, the developer is asked to amend its initial RFP response to increase the number of housing units to approximately 800, request that ESD grant a zoning override, and increase the purchase price. To accommodate these requests, additional legal work will be necessary to revise existing documents, conduct a more significant SEQR review, and proceed with the zoning override. The proposed increase in legal fees includes the additional costs of subcontracting with Cy Paget, specialized pre-approved environmental counsel, to provide legal services for the SEQR review. In particular, the corporation will need a full EIS for the zoning override. The contract would continue to be funded in its entirety from an imprest account to be funded by the project developer and to be maintained at and by ESD. Happy to answer any questions.
Very good, thank you. Questions or comments from the board?
I just want to make sure I'm clear about something. They're increasing from 46 units to 800 units?
That's the proposal.
Fantastic. I assume some of those will be affordable housing?
Yes. All of it. All of it, I think all of it.
All of it, good. I just want to reiterate that for those who are not familiar with the project. A great, addition of affordable housing to the project. So great.
So, comments from the public? No? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, Mr. Salloway, you around? We were going to go back to him at the end with the Connect New York Broadband Program and Consent Calendar. Well, I guess what we could do is go through the other administrative stuff and come back to him again.
The board materials.
Yeah, we can do it without a presentation also, just
can do the information report.
Okay.
I'll double check on
We'll do the next one.
Okay, so we're going to, Steve, you're going to do what Salloway would have done?
No,
Or are you doing the next one?
information item on
Okay,
WBD.
fine. So, this is a quarterly report on the utilization of certified minority women business enterprise.
Yeah,
Procurement.
Steve. This is the standard report, and again, kudos on moving swiftly through the agenda.
You know me, Steve.
Yeah, I know. You've in that seat, yeah. So this is for the second quarter of this fiscal year. The important numbers is really around the utilization of certified firms, which for the quarter was 21.6%. Of the $163.8 million in disbursements, 35.3 million in payments were reported to MWBEs. The second quarterly number that we report on are commitments. Those commitments equaled 19.45%, or 492,279 over 2.53 million in commitments. As a reminder, those commitments are what the commitments are at the beginning of those contracts, not what ultimately becomes utilization. Usually over time those numbers go up. So that is the summary of the MWBE quarter 2 for ESDC.
Great. Thanks very much. Questions, comments from the board? So I take it we can approve of the broadband Connect New York broadband items without the presentation, is that what you're saying?
Correct, just based
Yeah.
on the submission of the materials.
Based on the submission of materials. If the directors are comfortable with that, which I am, I will take a motion to approve.
Sure. Just remind us which item it is, sorry.
It's item 3A.
3A. Okay.
It's item 3A, Anthony, and the presenter was not available, so if everybody's
Okay.
comfortable, we can approve them based on the materials.
I mean, if you want to take. the
Okay.
minutes to- Or if you want,
Oh, because I have to go.
yeah, so then fine.
Yeah. All right, so is there a motion?
So moved. Now, why don't we clarify just again what we're approving, right?
Yeah.
So
It's item 3A, which is the Connect New York broadband program consent calendar.
Exactly.
There are two items.
Right.
The broadband extension project and then the connecting the capital region.
Exactly.
$5 million project and a $2,042,000 project. Materials are in the board book.
Terrific. Excellent. So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Terrific. It carries. Galway, we'll deal with you later. Okay. Steve, you did your presentation on the WMBE, and so now we will go to executive session to hear a report from Lauren Axelrod. Okay.
You guys can go.
We need a motion to conduct the executive session as I just described. So is there a motion? Can someone make that motion?
Oh, yeah, sorry, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. The motion carries. We're in executive session.
Give me 1 second. He's got to just.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to disconnect myself.
Are you going to leave?
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
go. 'cause I-
We can always put you in.
Okay.
Well, if you
Yeah.
want.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm done.
Have a busy day.
Well, thank you so
And
much for
tomorrow,
coming.
and Saturday, and
Are
Sunday.
you serious? Why? What's happening?
No, it's the end of the year, you know.
You're everything.
I remember the first one I
Well,
got to.
everything's got to get done, has to get in, you know, otherwise we put stuff off to January, but there are certain things that,
That have to be done in this calendar.
the calendar.
And then so you take your little break after January.
I had a.
I'm gonna go to Long Island next Monday afternoon, or Tuesday morning.
It's good, it actually holds you for hours. I mean, I'm not
How old is Stay through Friday. I'm all hooked up.
But you'll work.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Skiing every Saturday,
She's not like.
and I go.
My mom's.
And then at lunchtime, I look at my BlackBerry, or when I get, you know,
Wow. They're three.
and then I
living in this
you know,
apartment,
answer, and I
so.
have lunch, and I go back.
Well, that's not true.
But I don't say, oh, geez, I can't go this
That's
weekend.
true.
No, you'll be right back.
Yeah.
You disconnected.
We still
That's
need the
okay.
web.
That's okay.
We still need the web.
We need the webcast though. We don't need him. We just need the webcast.
Just open the webcast.
Okay, it is open.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't come up with
Wait, one second.
You move and vote.
Right, they said it's okay.
We'll vote on it.
Right, but we're on the webcast.
To end the session, to
Right.
end the meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Right, to adjourn the meeting. Yeah. May I have a motion?
We're good.
And you note that he'll vote.
Yes.
That's the important.
Yeah, exactly. All set, Colin?
We're set.
Terrific. I will note for the record that no votes were taken during the executive session. And if there being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? So moved. Well, to everyone, thank you everyone for a great year. Happy holidays. And we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Done and done.